Hey folks, Keith with 93 Lumber coming back at you with a little bit of a channel update. This one's gonna be a little bit nicer than my last one. I was struggling a little bit there for a little bit, and then yeah. So sorry for that. Sorry about that, but also not that sorry. So yeah, I just wanted to do a couple things. Good news. Good news. And then I just wanted to go over the weekend because it's pretty cool. I had a good time. Katie and I went down to Bensalem, Pennsylvania for This Is Not Croydon Fest, which is a ska punk, not huge fest, but like good size, that Broken Goblet puts on. And it was fun. There were bands that I thought I'd never get to see that played, so that was cool. Ran into some friends while there. Some that I knew would be there, some others that I did not expect to see there. So that was nice. Neshaminy Creek is like 6 minutes from Broken Goblet. So on Friday when we went down, they had a small pre-fest show. So we went to Neshaminy Creek, had a couple beers, had some pizza. They had a food truck out there. Then we went over to Broken Goblet for the show. Had a couple beers there. Went back to the hotel. And then on Saturday was basically the whole day was the show. It was like an all day thing. From like, we got there noon, 12:30, and then we ended up leaving during the last band set because they didn't go on for like 40 minutes. They didn't start until like 40 minutes after they were supposed to start, so they went a little late, so we were tired. I had a bunch of beers, and I was being social that day because I had seen people that I knew and stuff, and it was a lot, and it's like more social interaction than I've had in like fucking a while, at least in that kind of setting. But yeah, it was super fun. And yeah, I had a bunch of beers that day. Probably like one or two too many. But I didn't get like wrecked or anything like that. So it was still good. And then and yeah, it was cool. I'll put some links down in the description for some of the bands that played and a friend of mine's band played. He was the person that I knew would be there because his band was playing. And yeah, I don't know. I say I like to. When I first started this channel, I wanted to do more than just beer reviews, and then I kind of just got like thrown into like just doing beer reviews, and like every once in a while I'll do something else. So the ratio is a little off from where I want it to be. So I figured I'd share some music with you. So if you're interested, you can go down to the description box. My friend's band is called the Upfux. I'll just say that. THE space UPFUX. The Upfux. And then yeah. Oh, I wrote a list so I wouldn't forget. Oh yeah, and then on Sunday, yesterday, we came back. It wasn't too far from Forest and Main, so we stopped at Forest and Main, had a few small pours, and then it just happened to be their 11th anniversary. So we went to the pub, and then their brewery is a little bit up the street. So we're like, oh, we'll walk up. We'll have one, and then go. And then while we're standing in line, well, I'm a little congested. I don't know if it's because I was not used to talking so much. I don't talk that much. Like in my off camera and in my daily life, I don't talk as much as I have in the last 3 days. So, and while we were standing in line waiting for a beer, a viewer of the channel, Mike, came up to me and said hi. It was kind of weird because like I only got recognized once in public, and I was with Matt, so it was kind of weird for someone to come up to me and either not have someone else more recognizable with me and then them also recognizing me. So it was really cool. And so we grabbed a beer, or talked for a few minutes, grabbed a beer, went outside. And as soon as he walked away, I'm usually pretty good with names. I think I was like, from like the day before and just being exhausted from like just a lot of social stuff and whatnot. My brain still isn't working quite the way it should be. I don't know if you're noticing, but as soon as he walked away, I looked at Katie. I was like, do you remember what his name was? Because I completely forgot. So she didn't remember because she's not so good with names. But then when we took our beers, we went outside, just stood there, and then he happened to walk by, and we ended up talking to him for a while. We were there. We finished our beers. He ended up buying Katie and I beers. It was really cool. So thank you, Mike, if you're watching this. Thank you. It was fun. And then we ended up, he brought up Warwick Farm, and I had never been there, so we stopped there for a beer. But by the time we got there, we were both exhausted, and so we just had one, and then came home. But it's a pretty eventful weekend for what I'm used to. So yeah. Now I will get into the more exciting news. Not that this weekend wasn't exciting, but this other news is stuff that I've been talking about for a little bit. So, Bond Week. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I have 6 Bond beers. 6 bottles. And I was going to do Bond Week 6 days. And so I really wanted to start it. So my plan for doing Bond Week is instead of doing the review the night before, just because shit happens and I forget, or I'm tired and I don't feel like having a beer or whatever. My plan is to start on Sunday or Monday or whatever and do a review a night or almost every night or whatever, and then post the review the next week on the corresponding day. So I really wanted to start this week, but I didn't do a review yesterday. And I did one review today, but I didn't want to open a 750. So basically what would have happened is I would have done a review yesterday on Sunday. Well, I do the Sunday thing, so I would have, so it'll be Monday through Saturday. So I would do the review tonight and post it next Monday is what would happen. And going with that. So I'm probably going to start that next week. So in 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, I'm looking for a job right now. So it's hard to, and I got to find one now because I spent money this weekend. So not like a huge crazy amount, but because I didn't have a huge crazy amount of money, but I spent enough money to significantly lower my holdings. So I'm doing that. My plan is to start next Monday, or maybe it'll be like I said, it might be off a little bit. So I might do a review Sunday night, but it'll be Monday through Saturday of whatever following week. And then that also gives me time to, if I miss a day or two, I'll have time to make that up. But going along with that, I'm also planning on, the reason I'm doing it that way is I am planning on taking a break from drinking, because I drank a little bit more than I drank more than I have in a while this weekend. I think it was a combination of like being social, and also like social anxiety and anxiety in general. So I was gonna just take a little time off, just do whatever. But also, and the more important, well, not more important, but like the bigger thing that I want to do is take some time off the internet, off the phone, off the computer. I want to just, I know I'm looking for a job, so it's got to be involved, but I'm going to be very, actually, I'm not exactly sure how it's going to work. So, but I don't want to be doing, I want to take like a week-ish off. I know it's not easy this day and age, especially like shit how it is and everything's on the internet and fucking shit. But I'm gonna do a little technology detox. Go for walks and stuff like that instead of playing video games or watching TV or reviewing, recording beer reviews. So I will be around. I am coming back. No worries. Nothing crazy going on. Just trying to improve my mental and physical health a little bit. Yeah. So yeah, that's all I wrote on the list. Yeah. So yeah, I hope you're all doing well and taking care of yourselves, taking care of each other. You can like this video if you'd like to, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can follow me on Instagram, 93lumber, that's spelled out 93lumber, and we will see you in the next one. Cheers.